2 home runs
he
against Kluber
single-handedly
and a
beat
3-run
the
home run.
Indians.
Yeah. He single-handedly beat Kluber. Other than that, they could not hit the other guys in that series.
No,
they were not great against.
I mean, they got to Bauer the second time last year.
The second time a little bit, but every game in that series was close, except for the last one where they won 5-1 or 5-2 or something like that.
But
every other game, and I almost cried in game 2 when they didn't challenge that hit by pitch and then gave up the grand slam. Because as soon as he got hit and they didn't challenge, everybody knew in New York they were doing something to bring him back into that game. And Lindor hits a grand slam to bring him within 1.
I was working when that happened. That was awful. That was. I don't normally get so heated or so angry or so emotional when I'm watching games because I'm like, well, I can't control this. I'm going to get hyped when they do something great. That was the first time that I cried when I wasn't even watching. I was in the car.
You just heard it. You could hear it.
Yeah, and I heard it. I heard it erupt. Lindor! And I'm like, oh my God, no. And then the ground ball pass to Reyes. I had to call my friend. I was so upset. I was like, oh my God, they're going to get swept. That's awful.
Yeah. And then the home run by Bird, and now everybody wants his head. Also, for the good news for the Yankees in my mind right now, and this was huge. This came out just about 2 hours ago, which is big because usually stuff happens on a one-time-a-week show right after the show. But this one happened before. A's Sean Manaea is having shoulder surgery on the 19th of September. And in my mind, arthroscopic surgery, I just came off of it. I don't know what... He's not having labor surgery.
What's that about?
That's just like when they use... kind of like, they don't really open you up. They make small incisions, and then they kind of just go in with probes and then repair what's wrong. So he had an impingement in his shoulder about a month ago, and they thought he was done for the year, most likely. This may just seal that shut, that he's going to be done for the year, done for the playoffs. And that's big because he's a good left-handed pitcher. And then really their best pitching option has been Trevor Cahill, Dan Megnan, and... not Austin Jackson. What's his name?
I totally forgot his name.
But Jackson,
Is it Hetcher?
He's a pitcher.
No? I totally forgot his name.
He pitched for like every team in baseball now or whatever.
Edwin Jackson.
Edwin Jackson.
Yes, that guy.
Okay, so you were right. But yeah, he's pitched really well. So for the A's, do they just go for a bullpen game in the wild card, or do they just hope for the best with one guy?
It's the same thing with the Yankees. At that point, you got to run with the hot hand. You just have
pretty
to.
much.
Like at this point, especially on the Yankee side, could be J Happ, could be Masahiro Tanaka.
I think it's Tanaka at this point.
I think Tanaka too.
I mean, the dark horse could be Lance Lynn or Sabathia.
He's been bad, and Sabathia hasn't been great since about 2 or 3 weeks ago when he had that knee injury again.
The reason why I'm saying Lynn or Sabathia is because, the veteran experience. Think of it like a Game 7. They've both been there.
Yeah, I mean, last year CC got the ball in Game 7, and you could see after the game he put everything on him. So almost like if you put him in a wild card spot, does he have it like a little chip on his shoulder?
I think so.
Giving that next shot.
Look, if you had to ask me right now, who would I rather be on the mound for the Yankees? It's not Severino. I don't know what's wrong with him.
You gotta wait. No. He will have to pitch in the series.
Yeah, that's fine.
If they get to the division series, he has to pitch.
That's perfectly fine.
And Severino's got to
me.
show up to that game, but.
Which I think
first thing first, you got to do the wild card and get through that.
I think the wild card especially is just so much pressure, and I think that's what happened to him. I think he cracked under the pressure. He was clearly not ready for that, but Girardi did the right thing in pulling him with, I think,
after
just
a third
1 out.
Inning. Yeah, he got 1 out, but he let up 3 runs and left the bases loaded. So.
Yeah, but look at what happened. Chad Green came in, shut the door. David Robertson came in, shut the door, and then Chapman. Well,
at
first
this point,
then Chapman.
If Chapman isn't there, do you think the Yankees bullpen can do this year the same thing that they did last year, pitch 8 2/3 in a wild card game? I don't think so.
I do, only because their bullpen is better now.
I think it is better, but a lot of them can't go multiple innings. So you're going to rely on A.J. Cole and not even Adam.
Because he's not there anymore.
On Jonathan Holder to pitch 2 innings each, probably.
Well, I think the reason why I say it's better, it's by personnel. But in terms of total experience and just workload, I think they're a little bit more shakier than last year's bullpen. But look, as a fan, I have to have hope. I have to have hope. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah. You guys are Yankee fans, both of you?
I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan, but
Mets fans.
I think I like Happ right now, but I think they're going to roll with Tanaka.
Tanaka, I think, is the best option for them right now.
And I mean, they can do a bullpen game if they wanted to, but I mean, their bullpen, like Eric said, has been much better. They got Britton, they have, and Chapman's still hurt, correct?
Chapman is hurt, and they are doubtful he might even be ready for the postseason, which is a big blow.
That's going to be tough for them, especially a couple of years ago. He took a lot of workload for when he was on Chicago, and they won the World Series. So, but I think Tanaka's the guy right now. If I'm a Yankee fan, I wouldn't mind seeing Happ start that game, and also for Oakland.
That would be terrible.
And also,
if we have to get to J Happ pitching for the Yankees,
you lose the game. You would definitely choke that game.
It's not necessarily that they would choke. I just don't feel comfortable.
I'm not comfortable
with
him
last
either.
night.
No.
But at the same time, you look and you're like, J.A. Happ. Man, that is a tough one to swallow. When you have Masahiro Tanaka, Luis Severino, CC Sabathia, household names that baseball knows and has learned the last couple of years, and then J. Happ, who's just a trade ship that came over, and you hope that, and now you're relying your whole season on him.
I mean, he was an all-star this year. I mean, he's been good of late.
But that's not saying much. The Blue Jays were terrible.
The Blue Jays were terrible.
They were terrible.
You have to pick someone from every team. So
you're listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Kyle MacKay, your host with you. Across from me, Eric Fischetti, Sam Eisenberg, and Matt Charkowick. 3 for 3. Thank
yes,
goodness.
sir.
Don't doubt yourself.
I'm not even doubting. I'm just voting at this
great,
point.
Come on, Kyle.
We're going to shift over to football, and this was the great first week.
What a way to start the year.
For me, it was not a great first week, actually. Personally, I lost both my survival pools on Tennessee and the Saints.
I told you
We're
to
gonna
pick
get
Miami.
into the Saints.
I told you to pick Miami.
I know, 2 or 3.
You were preaching Miami
Nick
last Friday
Ornberger
for
told
sure.
me to pick Tennessee. And I was like, Nick, I'm going to trust you with this. So I have a bone to pick with him
on
later
my
in the week when I see him.
On my Friday show, we did picks.
Yeah.
He was the worst. He was the worst. He had the worst record. I had the best. So listen to me next time.
Matt, we're going to end up switching over to winning percentage, but for right now, all three of us are 9-6-1 in our picks. Unless you change them in a different show.
Oh, because of the Steelers and the Browns?
Yeah, well, we're all 9-6-1, yeah.
I changed that to a loss.
Why?
You consider that a
why
loss?
not? Yeah, because they were both wrong. Because
Well,
you picked the
but they were
Steelers
also
and the
both
Browns
half
to right.
Yeah, okay.
No,
in that
they're
logic,
not.
I agree with you.
They didn't lose, though. That's the other
But they
thing in my
didn't win
mind.
either.
Okay, so for Matt, really, you just want it to be a win, so this way he doesn't get that half-game win at the end of the year.
What are you talking about? No,
See who wins at the end of the year for our picks segment each week.
I gave it a loss. You can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do.
All right, so
Just
we're
do
going
the
to go
right
with
thing.
9-6-1. Everybody's the same right now. You, me, and Sam. Matt, you'll pick this week, and we're going to do that first, actually, real quick. I don't even want to talk about the games. We're just going to go around and just pick the games and who we think is going to be in each one. So first off, Baltimore, Cincinnati. In Baltimore, I have Baltimore going after that big game.
I got Cincinnati because with Baltimore, they were going up against a pretty lackluster Bills team.
I know who he's picking.
I know, and I'm with
that's a
him on it.
giveaway.
I am not buying the Ravens right now, only because the Bills are so bad. They
Same with
got
the Jets,
worse.
but we'll get to that later.
The Jets? What?
No. With how they had their games.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that
okay.
No,
next.
when we're
Okay.
not. Yeah.
Jeez, you just... I'm going to snap my neck looking at you. Bengals.
All right.
I like
so
it.
We're pretty
I
much,
like it.
We're pretty
All right.
split up right now. Carolina in Atlanta. I have Atlanta.
I got Atlanta too.
I have Atlanta.
I think Carolina had an easy time with Dallas. They don't really...
They look bad, Dallas. I'm going to get to that one later.
I did say that Dallas was going to be blown out, so I'm very thrilled that I got that right. I think...
They didn't get blown out. It was 16-8.
Yeah, they got blown out.
That's
They got
still
blown out.
considered blown out to me.
They got blown out. I am picking the Falcons.
Oh, okay. So all four of us agree in that one.
All
New
right.
Orleans Saints at home against Cleveland. They screwed me last week. This week, I think they have to win. Otherwise, they might as well just pack it up and wait till next year. I go with the New Orleans Saints.
Me too.
You know what's funny? This isn't an easy win anymore.
I know. It's
really
weird,
not.
right? But for the second straight week, they are the best favorite in the NFL for going into week 2. Last week, they were a 10.5.
Well, Drew Brees finally
Favorite.
like,
This week
all
they're a 10
right, we're the
point
Saints.
favorite.
Let's play football. This is tough. I feel like, I don't know why. I feel like this is going to come back to bite me. I might be in the minority on that. I'm picking the Saints, but I think Cleveland might get a win this week. I'm still picking the Saints.
That would be amazing if
That'd
they
be
somehow-
crazy.
Cleveland, they showed fight last week. I'm picking the Saints still. Yes, they lost. Still put up
This could
40
be another
points.
one. We all picked the Saints last week as well against the Buccaneers, and we saw
We
that
know how
happen.
that ended.
Except Ryan Fitzpatrick is not playing this week against the Saints, so we'll
Are you
see.
sure?
I mean, I hope not.
Someone might. That would be hilarious, though. If he does 5 touchdowns again,
He's going to be
who are
the
they
starting
playing?
quarterback in
They're
fantasy
playing
next
Philly.
week.
I don't think so. Tennessee and Houston. Houston showed some
No,
fight.
Houston at Tennessee.
My bad. You're right. Houston at Tennessee. That's why you're number 2 right there. Watching over. Houston. I have Houston. They played really well against Patriots, but it's Tom Brady and they couldn't overcome it.
I think that Deshaun Watson had a bad game at first, but I think he made up for it. And what I like most about Watson is how mature he is, because after the game against the Pats, he basically saying, that was on me. I'm putting that all on me. We should have won this game. Well, I think Watson was my favorite quarterback coming into the draft, not last year, but actually, yeah, it was last year. Last year going into the season, I think Watson was one of my favorite quarterbacks. I picked Houston last week. I'm picking them again. Tennessee just did not impress me, especially against the Dolphins. I'm going Houston.
I'm going Houston as well.
Houston all the way.
So far we're lockstep with each other. Washington hosting Indianapolis. Both teams, this was tough. I picked Washington because of the home team. But Indianapolis played well, and Andrew Luck, it was his first game, so now kind of going into the second game. Now the rest is history almost. I feel like he might have a better game. But Washington plays so well, although it was against a bad Arizona team, it seems. I do have to take Washington.
I am going with the Colts only because Andrew Luck had a great debut of the 2018 season. I think that he had one of his better games, especially in the regular season, because I forgot about what happened with the, Deflategate. But, yeah, I think this one's going to be closer than we think. I think
it's going to be a close game.
I think this game is going to come down to a game-winning field goal, which is great because I have Vinatieri on my fantasy team. I'm going Colts. I'm going Colts with this one.
Like I said, this one you could go either way. This is the one game I struggled on. This one and actually the next one, Pittsburgh hosting Kansas City, because Kansas City looked good with Pat Mahomes last week, and Pittsburgh kind of left with their tail between
They were
their
a little
legs
sloppy in that game.
They were sloppy, and I can't even say that they could blame Bell on this one because Connor played a great game.
Great.
He played a great game.
His haircut was stupid, though.
I didn't
see his haircut.
I don't like that at all.
Was it gold?
What?
What color was it?
No,
it was
hair. You didn't do anything?
No,
okay.
it was like, think about it like this. Imagine if he was balding in the front and then a buzz cut in the middle and then a mullet in the back. It was awful.
Interesting.
It was just...
He needed a headband.
It was no, it wouldn't have done anything. It wouldn't. Just shave the whole damn thing.
For this one, though, I still have Pittsburgh at home. I feel like they have something to prove after tying.
Yeah, they're going to have a bounce-back game. I got Pittsburgh, too.
I have Kansas City. I believe
this
in
is
Mahomes.
Another one. Like I said, this one in the Washington game, I split right down the middle.
Tyreek Hill is the most explosive player in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
He looked amazing.
Kansas City has got a lot of weapons. I thought Mahomes...
And honestly, now do you think they're going to have the invasion that they had in L.A., though? Because L.A., was all red shirts in L.A. for Kansas City.
No,
I don't
because
think this
the
week will
Steelers...
be that bad.
No, because even though the Steelers are at home, the fans travel very well. They're kind of like the Raider fans a little bit. They're everywhere. But... listen, Kansas City has a lot of weapons. Pittsburgh, although James Conner did great, they're a much better team without Le'Veon Bell. I'm going Kansas City. I'm getting Kansas City by a touchdown.
It's a tough game.
I think Eric put it perfectly. I mean, Steelers, yes, are definitely wanting to come back at home with the win, but Mahomes and Hill, I mean, I have him in fantasy. I
have Kelsey in fantasy. You only gave me 1 point.
Wow.
Jerk.
I was loving what the Mahomes and Hill combination was looking like last week, and I think it's going to work again against the Steelers' defense.
Matt, you said yours?
Yeah, I said I picked Indianapolis.
Didn't you go Pittsburgh?
Too.
No,
I picked. Oh, we're on Pittsburgh. Yeah, I still picked Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the L.A. Chargers at Buffalo. I think this is a layup for everyone. I'm going with the Chargers.
Chargers too.
If Buffalo wins this game, I will give each of you $1.
Just $1?
Just $1.
Right,
I'll give you one better. I'll give you $1.50.
That's it?
$1.50.
You cheapo.
Hey, you said $1.
Yeah, but I was kind of half joking about it. You're not. I'm going the Chargers. I think that, honestly, if Nathan Peterman starts again, everyone should be fired. Everybody.
He should go to Allen, but at this point, did he really play that much better?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He still played horrible either way.
Yeah, they did. They got blown out by the Ravens, although the Ravens are very good this year, and I think they're going to be even better than we think. I'm picking L.A., the Chargers, that is. Don't confuse with the Rams. This is not as easy as you think it is, but it's the Chargers, so I'm picking the Chargers.
I think they're going to lose by 21 this week, the Bills. I'm taking the Chargers. I think they're going to blow them out.
Okay.
Well, that's easy. Nice layup.
Matt, you said the
Chargers.
Chargers too?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to kind of go back real quick. I just got news. Sean Mania will miss all of next season after the shoulder surgery.
wow.
So,
my
never mind this postseason.
They
He is
need a
out all of next
pitcher.
season. So that is, it's too late now. They got to find